Very good. Okay, very good.
Good morning and welcome to another episode of Hard Factor presented by the Barstool News Network. It is What the Fuck Wednesday, December 9th, 2020. Pat the Beeve is off today, so it's me, Will, Mark, and Wes. Boys, how you feeling today on this What the Fuck Wednesday?
We have too many things to talk about today. We have too many stories, is what I'm feeling.
It's true.
It's awesome. Yeah,
We've been blessed with a bounty of stories. Wes, how you doing?
I'm good. I just realized I haven't probably drank a glass of water in like 3 days. So
that's because Wes has been head down creating new merch. So watch out. We got a new store dropping January 1st. Be on the lookout for the Wes custom design.
I'm having a good time, let me tell you.
Wes is a merch machine. He's pumping out design after design after design.
He's our little in-house designer. And some stories we can't get to but are worth a mention. Joe Biden picked the first ever African-American Secretary of Defense in Lloyd Austin, and he is a unit, a big man. I don't know if you guys saw the picture. Big guy. People are going to be scared.
He's huge.
Yeah. Good pick for the Secretary of Defense, just based on looks alone. AOC was named Employee of the Month for Goya beans after increasing their sales by demanding a boycott. And fellas, we may as well already be on Mars right now in the colony because we're probably the only podcast or business maybe that resides in the two hubs of Elon Musk now, Austin and Reno. He is officially leaving California, moving to Austin.
Yeah, my dad sent me an article. The Musk Foundation moved his charitable foundation moved from California to Texas. He's all in. He's gone. He's leaving. He's leaving California
altogether. So he's now based in our two cities. Welcome to the kingdom, fellas.
Yep.
I think we can get him.
Mars is going to come back up towards the end of the podcast. We'll tease that. But a couple people asked, when you say download, what do you mean? You can just download the show on any platform: Google, Amazon, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. If you download it, that's good enough for us. We'll carry on. That will help us greatly. We'll give you a few ways you can help us in the future, but simply if you all just download the podcast and spread the word, we're good to go for indefinitely, and there will be no gap in the show. There won't. It's not like we're going straight through. Outside of Christmas Day and Christmas Eve and New Year's Day, there won't be a break in the show whatsoever.
No change for the Hardo Hive. All I was getting at there was just when you subscribe. I use Apple Podcasts, and you have the option to subscribe and which shows you want to keep downloaded on your phone. So I was just saying make sure we're in the top picks there. Whatever app you use, just make sure subscribed and that you're getting our feed every day, because that's how they keep track of the stats.
And we'll keep bugging you on this because unfortunately we're at that Wikipedia bugging phase of, if you want it to be free, you have to do this at Wikipedia. You good? But we're not asking for donations. We just want you to download. Lastly, what was I going to say?
5 stars.
Starting in January. Yeah, 5 stars. But starting in January, if you could maybe not fast forward the ads, maybe just turn them down if you don't like them. But we do funny ads, but try not to fast forward the ads too much if possible. There you go.
What, are you going to ask them wear a seatbelt next?
Yeah. Sorry. Now do drugs.
I mean, we might as well just ask him for money.
Yeah. Well, they're going to give you us money because of all the merch you did. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. Wes's store. Don't forget, dropping January 1st. All right, let's move into the stories.
Okay.
It's looking sexy.
This is a fun one for everyone, really. And definitely we will all be able to agree on it one way or the other without any feedback needed. No complaints on this story. Friend of the program and the host, friend of the host, Thomas, sent this one in. It turns out, guys, employers can fire people if they don't take the COVID vaccine.
Oh, really? Just anywhere, or where?
I mean, yes, legally in the United States, if the employer asks you to take, it says that your job is dependent on you taking the vaccine, and you say I'm not taking it, they can fire you for that. Apparently,
grounds for termination. Okay.
Yeah.
Anti-vaxxers are screwed.
Yep. They got to work for an anti-vaxxer boss, I guess. So again, we'll inform you when we know that the FDA approves the Pfizer or any other vaccine. They are meeting tomorrow, the 10th. The FDA is to go over data and make some sort of announcement about the Pfizer vaccine. I know some people like Charles are waiting with bated breath and wondering what is taking so long since the UK authorized the vaccine over a week ago.
Charles brought up a good point on Twitter. He said, why did they set the date for the 10th of December? Good question. Right. I have no idea.
Why don't you just go ahead and meet? Exactly. Yeah. But I'm sure it will be authorized. And then we come to the next step is, how many people are going to take it when it is readily available. And polls are showing that up to 40% of people are still saying, no way, Jose, today to taking the vaccine. That number drops to about 20-ish% to halves after the follow-up question was like, what about after the first wave of people? If they don't grow a third eye or something, would you take it? And then half said, okay, probably after the first 6 months, if everyone's fine, we'll take it. But that's still... 20 to 25%, a quarter of the people are saying no. I'm not going to take it.
They're gonna, but once they know, like once their job is like, hey, you take it
Right.
or you're gone, people are just gonna take it.
That's going to go to the Supreme Court. That you get fired if you don't take the vaccine. Guaranteed.
Could.
Oh, for sure, but
Yeah.
not before people already take it because they have to keep their jobs.
Right, and it sounds like it's going to happen. Some experts like Roge Dunn, R-O-G-G-E, that's a weird name, Roge Dunn, who's a Dallas labor and employment attorney, claims that not only is it legal for employers to make taking the vaccine mandatory for employment, but that many of his corporate clients are telling him they're planning to do so. He said, under the law, an employer can force an employee to get vaccinated, and if they don't take it, fire them. And apparently it's not necessarily for all the safety of the employees, but for reasons of profit that a lot of these companies like restaurants
you don't
man
say.
up to this. Yeah, it's shocking. Apparently, companies will be able to.
Wu-Tang does a song about that.
Yeah, do they? Yeah, it's all what cash rules everything around me. Cream. So companies are probably going to put up like signs saying everyone at this store took the vaccine to encourage customers to come into the store and feel safe, right? And the only people that will not have to get vaccinated are people that are protected under the American with Disabilities Act. They can like not get vaccinated and not get fired. There's a religious belief aspect to it, kind of like Quakers don't go to war.
Couldn't you just claim that?
Right.
I think you have to prove it.
I've always wondered, like, can I
Like
just claim to be
Rastas?
Rastafarian? Yeah, exactly.
Well,
Wes.
so that, but the religious part's is a gray area. They're not saying that you can get away with it. They're saying potentially that's something that could go to the Supreme Court under Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. But you have to prove that your religion doesn't take medicine and then fight it. With the Americans with Disabilities Act, you're in the clear. So it sounds like more people losing their minds outside or inside of shops. Videos are going to be taken from iPhones coming in 2021. Lots of protests and boycotts coming. Maybe some employees getting violent inside the stores. Should be a fun 2021. Yeah.
So if your employer, like a big corporation, forces you to take the vaccine and then you get sick from it, you can sue the fuck out of them probably too.
I don't know.
Well, it's America. You can sue for anything.
Well,
right? So,
Yeah,
sure.
But I feel like you'd win that one. I don't know.
I got nipples. Can you sue me?
Yeah, as long as the Supreme Court, gives us Rastafarians the right to smoke weed anywhere from this, I'm all for it. So
that's a bummer. That's a bummer of a story. Sorry.
yeah. Well, I mean, is it a bummer? I don't know. That's just the future. That's just where we're headed.
Yeah.
And is it? I don't know. It's
Shining
a
a
bummer.
putting a microscope on the future is a little.
But
bit
there's
of a
at
bummer.
least a vaccine, so that's a good part. Not all bummer.
That's a good takeaway.
Hopefully the vaccine is a good one and they just didn't push some shit that's gonna make us grow, third penis or something through. That's what we got.
Third penis.
You have a second
You
penis
jumped.
already?
You jumped the second penis.
Well, fair enough. I might be able to
Wait a
handle
minute.
two. I might be able to handle two.
Second penis wouldn't be so bad. but
I do have
third-
two hands.
All right, let's move it on. This one comes to us from the heavens mostly. Intern Patricia sent it on the text thread, but mostly just karma and the world brought this to our plates. It turns out all-time douchey politician from California. He's a House of Reps Congressman Eric Swalwell. He was assisted in fundraising efforts by a Chinese spy in 2014, and that's when he first came into Congress. And I'm focusing on Swalwell mostly just because I've always thought that he was the worst, and then this story totally vindicates that belief. But also, this Chinese spy conned a bunch of other politicians. So a new Axios report detailing the activity of Chinese spy Fang Fang. She went by Christine Fang. Bubba, if you can pop the picture up of her and her, victims. Between 2011...
Fang.
Fang, but she went by Christine Fang.
Okay.
So people either knew her by Fang or Christine, so that's how they knew her in America, but I think her real name, is Fang Fang.
She's a looker. She's a looker.
She is very attractive. YouTube.com/hardfactornews to see why her con worked. Between 2011 and 2015, the Axios report reveals that she targeted at least 3 obvious cucks, Rep. Eric Swalwell, like we've already covered, of California, former Fremont, California Mayor Bill Harrison, who is a portly man, huge, and then a few San Jose City Council members. Yeah, YouTube.com/HardFactorNews, like I was saying, to check out Bill Harrison. He's got like 7 chins.
This guy thought Fang was into him?
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
Well, she was. She was going to all his events. She was probably giving him money or helping him get money.
It.
Yeah, she just liked him for him, yeah.
Probably getting a few other things. Basically, she's the Maria Butina of China. You guys remember Maria Butina, who targeted rich NRA donors, basically.
Yes,
she was way up in the like the donor side of the Republicans. Except she got Swalwell, so it makes it a little bit more impressive. This Chinese spy.
She's a more successful Maria Butina.
Exactly, a much more effective, and it pleases me so much. Like I was saying, that Eric Swalwell, a noted loser who farts on camera and sucks at running for president, fell head over heels for her. He's an embarrassment to Congress. How did she do it, you ask? Well,
I know how she did it.
Yeah, pretty sure.
You guys guessed it. She's a hot young Asian chick posing as a college student, obsessed with banging older political men. Pretty easy scam she was running. It
That'll
turns out.
do it.
Bubba, we have a couple of excerpts from the Axios report that show she also engaged in sexual or romantic relationships with at least 2 mayors of Midwestern cities who probably looked like that mayor in California over a period of about 3 years, according to one U.S. intelligence official and former elected official. At least 2 separate sexual interactions with elected officials, including one of these Midwestern mayors, were caught on FBI electronic surveillance of Fang. Wow. And that's just what Axios was able to come up with from their digging. You got to assume Fang was probably banging a lot of politicians.
They ran the QB sneak from 1 yard out when you have like a Ben Roethlisberger's type QB. Like they ran the easiest play to convert.
Works every time.
Every time.
Fang sleeps with a politician.
Yeah.
She could have told that big fat guy she was a spy, and he wouldn't have cared.
He wouldn't have cared.
He would have been like, well, okay, so what changes?
Are we going to the next step after?
Right.
Can we still go to hibachi, please?
Yeah.
Fang
Nothing changes, right?
Exactly. Fang just preyed on these dumbass politicians in the Bay Area of California who never, ever questioned her limitless money that she would give them and the connections that she would always provide, just out of the goodness of her heart, probably.
She got real chatty after an orgasm, that one.
Eric Swalwell loved it so much that he took an intern that she placed on his team, and she played a large role in his fundraising team in the 2014 election that got him elected to Congress and eventually put onto the Intelligence Committee of the United States. So what a boob that guy is. When the FBI told Eric Swalwell that he'd been duped by Fang, he cut off communication with her, and she was magically swept back to China. All of a sudden, Fang's not a thing American anymore. Exactly.
To a parade.
Loud, raucous cheers. Never to be seen from again. And that dumbass that she duped that hard, Eric Swalwell, just got reelected in California District 15 with 71% of his vote. Right before this information comes out that he's a complete fucking moron who got duped by a Chinese spy. Wow. Buyer's remorse on those votes, I bet. Holy shit.
Listen, I mean, Swalwell's, he's a young guy. He's not like unattractive like that big fat guy. The fat guy is more to blame. Swalwell, he's like, yeah, this chick's, this cute Asian chick is into me. I mean,
but she's so integrated in his campaign. He has no idea she's a Chinese spy until the FBI tells him 3 years later.
Swalwell didn't sleep with her. The mayors did. But
are you sure? I think Swallow's just a complete fucking moron.
No, I'm not sure.
I mean, yeah, you're not sure at all.
No,
she slept with everybody. Sure. This is such a stain on his administration. It's ridiculous. I always thought, he was farting on camera and acting like a douche when he was running for president. And then now this, how can he survive? Like, it's incredible to me that people like this can survive
on
in politics.
Camera was excellent. It was a loud fart.
Homeboy
he's like you, Will. He can't control the loudness of his farts.
Yeah. Feel for him.
He can't let
I'm not saying I don't have similarities to the guy, but maybe takes one to know one. You're a mess, Swalwell.
Yeah. Not great. Not great.
There's a time in every red-blooded American male's life where he's susceptible to a cute Asian spy.
To Fang.
Yeah.
It's a rite of passage for American politics.
There's a window in everyone's life. All right, guys, let's get to some business. Soon, you can stream everything you want to watch when you're not watching sports. Sounds pretty good, huh? Introducing Discovery Plus, a new streaming service bringing you the greatest collection of real-life entertainment plus exclusive originals you won't find anywhere else. Watch your favorites from brands like HGTV, Food Network, TLC, ID, Animal Planet, Discovery Channel, and more, including shows like Shark Week, The 90 Day Fiancé Universe, Diners, Drive-Ins and Dives, Hometown, and Naked and Afraid. Plus, get the BBC Natural History Collection, including Life, Planet Earth, and brand new specials to come. From food to nature, true crime to flipping houses, puppies to classic cars, whatever you're into, you'll find it here. Discovery Plus starts streaming January 4th in the U.S. only.
It's a lot of good shows.
Yeah. Oh, I love. Listen, I bet I'm on a hometown kick right now. I'm not scared to say, and it's fantastic.
Stream my timbers off, or whatever they say. You know, that classic saying. I've got a double mystery illness story for you guys. Just what you wanted to hear, right? Two new unexplained illnesses coming right up. The first one was sent in by Twister Rodriguez and Brad St. G, and it's about U.S. diplomats and potentially spies that started getting mysteriously sick in Cuba and China starting in 2016. They got debilitating headaches, vertigo, memory loss, dizziness, fell unconscious, and other troubling symptoms sometimes. So that's not shady at all, being in those two locations, right?
Yeah,
Right.
some people are just literally dropping like flies.
Yeah, just
that.
the U.S. diplomats in Cuba and China only. Yeah.
Okay.
North Korea too.
Yeah, 4 years.
What do they have in
diplomats over there.
common? They're just in U.S. buildings? That's the only thing?
No, these are U.S. diplomats in Cuba and China, 50 of them that got sick, and the U.S. then had to research, why are our U.S. citizens that are located in Cuba and China getting so fucking sick?
I see. You're
That's
saying like
that's
weird
unusual.
shipments. Uh-oh.
Well, we'll get to it. Yeah, very shady. 4 years of research into this later by the top U.S. scientists, and we may have an explanation as to what caused this. A study commissioned by the State Department and released by a National Academy of Science committee this past Saturday says that basically the most likely cause is directed microwave radiation that caused the illness. They said directed pulsed radio frequency appears to be the most plausible explanation. So what the fuck does that mean? It doesn't
That's what I'm
sound
saying.
good.
Their own building was frying them. That's what was happening.
Yes. So it turns out that previous research on using microwave radiation to make people very sick was done by, drumroll, it's a 50-50. Who could have
The
been?
Nazis.
Close. I was going to say it's between China and Russia, and you're closer on the time frame. It was the Soviet Union, the former Soviet Union. According to the report, there was
it's one of those. It's one of those damn like
what is it, the
what
sickle
are
and
they
hammer.
called?
Yeah.
You know,
Guess
whatever.
Yugoslavia.
Yeah, there you go.
What are those things
Axis
called?
of evil.
There you go.
Yeah, according to the report, there was significant suffering and debilitation amongst some of the individuals that got sick. So it was there was ZAP torturing these fuckers for 4 years, which was real nice, guys. All in all, about 50 U.S. citizens working in China and Cuba on behalf of the U.S. were affected, with some of them saying at night times they would hear high-pitched shrieking noises that sounded in their homes or hotels that sounded like dying crickets or loud crickets.
Was this on purpose? They were hitting them with
Yeah.
this?
Yes. Yes,
It
the
was on
Soviet
purpose.
Union technology was implemented on our U.S. diplomats in Cuba and China, probably by
us?
Russia.
Oh,
Probably by
Russia.
Russia.
Okay.
They're saying it's probably Russia, and that basically they sent sonic torture waves to our people for 4 years. That were
trying to
working in Cuba and
frame like China, I guess, since it was
I
Russia
don't-
and happening in China.
China. Or someone's trying to frame Russia.
Right.
That's the
This
either
is
some's
so
trying
good.
to frame Russia or Russia.
I mean, I'm
is
sorry
just
for the
fucking
people
with
that
us.
got sick. They're not dead
Yeah.
though, right? They're like,
No, they're just they have PTSD and they need to get out of there. Yeah. So that's great. That's a great
Still
one.
there.
I don't know. I think they're mostly out, but anyone needs to get out of there. That's a U.S. diplomat in Cuba and China, apparently. Okay, this next one is from Hard Factor Pat, who is out today, but should be on radio later today at 10 a.m. Eastern Time on Sirius Barstool Power 85, and we'll be back on the pod tomorrow. It's a mystery illness number 2, and it's more serious, and this one also has no explanation yet, so just worse and worse. A mysterious illness has left over 500 people hospitalized and one person dead in the southern Indian state of Andhra Pradesh in the past few days. So, yeah, on Saturday night, people started convulsing uncontrollably without warning in Elleru, which is a very old city known for its beautiful hand-woven products that no one will ever go see again because of this
This
story.
isn't another homemade booze issue.
No. Symptoms ranging from nausea and anxiety to loss of consciousness impacted over 550 hospitalized patients, and all but 149 of them have been released from the hospital. So there's 148 still in there, and one person died, according to Dasari Nagarjuna, who is a government spokesperson. And the reason it's not booze, Wes, is because it's people of all ages, including children. There's no pattern in the amount. Like they can't figure it out. So the top
They drink it from the same well, maybe.
Well, here you
like
go.
A well problem.
Well, you're on to something here. Top scientists in India arrived on the case, but it's only been a few days. They have no explanation yet. The two top things they came up with were, they said it could be pesticides that got into food, like vegetables, but they haven't been able to like really prove that yet. They also thought at first it could be contaminated municipal water, but a lot of the people that got sick don't drink municipal water. So they couldn't pinpoint anything that these people ate or drank really that all is in common. It's also affecting everyone of every age, like I mentioned. So there's no pattern in like, the genetics or anything like that. So
I have no idea at all.
I have an idea. See if the former Soviet Union had any similar events, like 500 convulsing people. I don't know. Sounds pretty shady to me. But yeah, I mean, we'll update these stories like if more comes in, because these are serious and we don't know, especially in the Indian one, what's going on. But lastly, I would like to share.
It can't be a new pandemic though, right? Like
no. The one is like sonic wave torture, and the other one is like potentially like a biological, I don't know, like a weapon. It's not like a pandemic, but it's like it could be like someone doing like a new type of warfare. Who knows? It doesn't sound good though. But we'll update you on those stories. I would like to share one last story that came in from my wife right before the show, just for my own mental health after my first two stories, and it is Hawaiian Airlines has just announced a direct flight from Austin, Texas to Honolulu starting in April 2021. It's looking like it's about $500 and $600 round trip, so you can catch me in Honolulu next year doing a backflip into the water. How about that, right?
Yeah.
There it is.
I saw something that they were Hawaii was offering workers to go live there. They're going to fly them out for free and work there you had to stay for a month. But if you're like a remote worker, you could just go.
Sounds terrible.
Work.
Well,
Tell you what that is. That's
I happen to be a
Elon Musk
remote
effect.
worker.
Yeah, me too. I mean, let's go.
You guys want to go to Honolulu?
Hawaii is the shit.
Yeah. So that's a good thing. There's
Yeah,
two.
I'll go to Honolulu. I'm closer.
Let's do it. Yeah, yours is probably cheaper, Will. I mean,
I'm telling you, that's the Elon effect. Bet he's got a house in Honolulu. Just need to get over there. You guys are going to see all the benefits. I'm telling you.
I'm in.
All right, fellas, before we move on, I want to talk a little bit about Radix Remedies. They're a national CBD provider launched by a group of friends who saw firsthand the benefits of CBD oil. They provide pharmaceutical quality hemp-based CBD oil legally purchasable in all 50 states. It's hemp-based CBD. It's totally THC-free, so it's no psychoactive high, just CBD relief. Radix products are incredible. I've been using them all week. YouTube.com/HardFactorNews. I'm puffing on one of these nice CBD-only joints that they have. The Sleepy Bears are incredible. They're like this sour melatonin CBD gummy that just knocks you out. Then that's for the nighttime. The morning CBD balm, you can soothe all your aches and pains. They have great balm. It really does feel good on any like injury or just like trouble spot of your body, your knees. You got bad knees or whatever.
I balmed the fuck up. They sent it right like the day after we did the marathon. I balmed like 3 days in a row.
Oh, I've been balming my feet nonstop ever since the marathon. It's been fucking incredible. I took the Neuro Root pill for the first time. That increases your brain function today, and it works. Guaranteed. Got me going. Got the juices flowing. And like I said, the killer buzz from the CBD only J's. Absolutely no threat of having any THC in there. No psychoactives. YouTube.com/HardFactorNews if you want to see what the joint looks like. They have a month-long Black Friday sale going on all throughout the holiday. So act now to receive 10% off extra on top of that Black Friday sale with the code BARSTOOL when you check out. All orders will be entered to win free CBD for a year. So that's pretty good. 12 days of Christmas giveaways going on throughout the month of December at Radix Remedies. Follow them on social media at Radix Remedies to join. Remember, that's promo code BARSTOOL when you check out.
What is that, a joint?
Yeah, a CBD
It's like
joint,
a
and they're
CBD only
huge.
joint. It's huge. It's surprisingly
Enormous.
big. Yeah. So.
You might be smoking that the rest of the show. They're huge. Yeah.
All right. This one comes from White Sox Dave is tolerable sometimes.
Sounds like a fan. That's like a love-hate thing right there. Yeah.
That is, yeah. White Sox Dave is great, and is very what the fuck and infuriating, to be honest. So, an 89-year-old Minneapolis woman, Mrs. Mosley, has lived in the same house for over 50 years on the quiet street. She says, though it's a mixed neighborhood, she always felt safe in the neighborhood, and obviously had no plans to move because she's 89 until this past March, when an absolute nightmare began unfolding for this poor woman when vandals started targeting her house and smashing windows. Bubba, if you got that clip.
Sean Mosley's 89-year-old mother, Frances, has called this house near Lake Nokomis home for the past 5 decades. A home where she's always felt protected, safe. That's until this March, when Mosley says vandals smashed several windows in the home.
Thankfully, they haven't tried to go inside.
The same vandals Mosley says targeted his mother's home again in May, June, September, and October. The 7th act of vandalism happening on Thanksgiving Day.
November 26th.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get the idea.
What did they do? What?
Well,
You
I got a
yeah.
cynical theory on this
You
one.
did something to deserve it is the answer.
Well, I think Sean owes someone some money.
And hasn't told his mom.
And hasn't told his mom about it.
Yeah, they're smashing his mom's window on Thanksgiving.
We haven't done
somebody who's
anything.
mad at you.
Mom, I have no idea. The other fucked up thought I had was that he's paying someone to do this so she moves out into a nursing home so he can sell her house.
Yeah.
That's
Both
that's where my brain went.
Both are more likely than her explanation of I have no idea why they're doing this.
Exactly. Yeah. So, it's fucked up.
It's Sean
9
himself.
times?
Sean's
9
never been
times?
in the house when it's happened.
9 times on Thanksgiving night they did this, and then this past Sunday was the 9th time this poor woman's house is just they don't go in, they just, it's clearly Sean knows what's going on, and he's not he's not breaking the silence. But yeah, so if that's pretty
How
much
old's the lady who
That's
owns
pretty much the
89.
story.
She's 89.
This poor 89-year-old woman has no idea.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, she
a lot of
probably
people
really
do.
doesn't.
Yeah.
She
Someone
probably
needs
really
to tell
has no
Sean
idea.
to come clean. I mean, that's what needs to happen.
She's going to have a fucking heart attack.
Yeah. Just tell her what you did, Sean.
Yeah.
How do they not have these guys on camera? Like, I don't understand.
They do.
Because
Yeah, but
Sean
it's like-
knows who it is, and he's the only one that's able to operate a camera. She's 89. She can't operate a camera, and he knows
Right.
they deserve it.
The cops
Either-
keep asking him, like, who is this? He's
Yeah.
like, I don't know. I can't place it real well. It's
Right.
like
Yeah.
just somebody who he owes. Yeah.
Sean's in deep into something, and he's going in all
Sean's
out.
got a broken leg.
Yeah, he's buying floodlights and cameras, and he knows exactly who he's seeing every single time.
Yeah.
What a scheme.
He's like, son of a bitch.
You act like you're trying to catch him, but you're definitely not.
I told these motherfuckers.
Oh, no.
Yeah, Sean knows.
If you're listening, criminals, just break Sean's windows, not the grandmother's
Right.
bedroom window.
Yeah.
You're scaring her.
You're
All right,
scaring her.
guys. This one is from the interns, and I think someone else from the Hive sent it in. Sorry, I couldn't find out who it was, but former Israeli space security chief says aliens exist, but humanity is not ready to know. But he told us anyways, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
But he told us, according to retired Israeli general and current professor, 87-year-old Haim Eshed, he said there is a galactic federation, which sounds like a made-up name from a generic sci-fi movie or TV show. There you go, Rick and Morty. And this galactic federation has been in contact with Israel and the United States for years. However, all parties involved, especially the aliens, agree that they shouldn't reveal this until the general population on Earth is ready to process or handle this
And
information.
he's just saying it because, especially the aliens who definitely don't scare him,
Right.
they don't care if he tells everybody. Early.
Yeah, old Eshed. We'll get to exactly why he's saying it, but yeah, old Eshed is saying it. He also is a 3-time recipient of the Israeli Security Award since he was the former space security chief for 30 years, so he was well decorated. He gave further descriptions about exactly what sort of agreements has been made between the aliens, Israel, and the U.S. in an interview, and said the aliens wish to research and understand the fabric of the universe with our help. So pretty generic stuff there.
Wait, what? So he's
fabric of the
saying
universe.
that he's been in touch with these aliens for 30 years.
Well, maybe not 30 years. He was in charge of that job for 30 years, but it was described as years plural.
He
that
says
they-
he's meeting with these things face to
Yeah,
face.
yeah. He's definitely met with these aliens. Yeah.
This
And
is
they-
how I know it's bullshit because
Okay.
he's saying that the aliens are asking us for help. That's a lie.
Yeah.
They're not
I guess
asking us.
help
They got
is in
all the way-
becoming, human batteries probably.
Right. They got all the way here on their own, and they want our help to find out the secrets of the universe that we can help them with, except we're not ready to understand they exist. So they're waiting patiently for our brains to wrap around that. This corporation
you know what
includes
that's like?
a...
No. You know what that's like? What he's describing
Yeah.
right there? Have you guys seen what's the one where the Abyss, where there's aliens in the sea, and then
Ed,
they don't
Ed O'Neill or whoever it is, Ed Harris, yeah.
Ed Harris, and then they don't reveal themselves until humanity is about to destroy itself.
Yep.
And
Was
it
that's
that?
when, that's
It's
when they
like-
say that you need
like the
them.
white orb thing.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of
Exactly.
science fiction movies, and that's why he came up with the Galactic Federation is the term. It gets better. This cooperation includes a secret underground base on Mars where there are already American and alien representatives inside Mars, he says.
Yes.
No. This isn't new. This isn't new. We've talked about this before. There are people who believe that aliens started coming around the world back after the U.S. dropped the first atomic bomb.
Yep.
And they believe that the aliens made contact with like Eisenhower or whatever Truman, and then whoever was
Right.
on that side that dropped the bomb, and they believe that we've been in contact with these aliens for that entire time.
Okay, that part's true, but what about the underground Mars base with humans
This
and
guy's
aliens?
taking it to the
That's-
next level.
That's pretty intense. I mean, if that's the case, I'm assuming Elon Musk has been brought into the conversations.
He's an alien. You got to assume that he's an alien.
Okay, maybe he could be an alien then, yeah.
Or a robot made by the aliens.
He came around that Eisenhower time, and he is going to take more people up to the Mars space base. Who knows? A shed
Good,
also
he owns our
claims
cities now. We're inside we're safe, guys. Look, if that's the case, if
friendly
Elon
aliens.
is in the driver's seat with the alien situation, we're right where we want to be, Reno and Austin.
Okay, good stuff. A shed also claims that Trump, who created Space Force, is very aware of the aliens and was about to disclose the information to the public, like he was on the brink of it, but he was prevented by the Galactic Federation,
Guess
who
who?
convinced him
The aliens.
we weren't ready to handle that. So Trump was listening to the aliens' advice and convincing aliens to Trump's inner circle of people.
Then
When
he
asked-
said. Then he said, "The nurses are stealing from me."
Yeah, exactly. When asked why the old kook was telling us this now, he said he has nothing to lose at this age and has already received all his degrees and awards and is widely respected at home and abroad. So now is as good a time as any to ruin his reputation and life's work. Why not?
I'll tell you
Yeah.
what. I hope he's telling the truth here. I hope that we're just like right around the corner from finding out about the real deal.
Me too.
We've built an underground Mars base, but we haven't figured that out until this guy just told us.
Right. That makes it a little less believable.
And Trump was going to tell everyone, but the aliens convinced
That
him
part
not
I
to.
believe. That part
No,
I
no one
do
can tell
believe.
Trump what to do. If he wanted to tell us, he would have fucking told
The
us.
only people I could imagine tell Trump what to do is the aliens.
Well, they better be like buxom Eastern European women.
You
in
have
the
mind
shape-
control. If you're an alien that's that advanced, you definitely have some kind of like power to control people.
Yeah.
There's a few holes in his story, but
It's a few holes. Yes.
Just a couple. Just a couple.
Still
Okay. We're about to close it out with some interesting tales. And this first one comes from listener KB about an unusual sex teacher in Greenup County, Kentucky, who is not your typical sex predator, like I was saying. An unusual tale. Mariah Scott, 29, of Raceland, Kentucky, was born without arms and legs due to tetraamelia syndrome. YouTube.com/hardfactnews to see the pic. But she still somehow managed to get caught soliciting a minor for sex via text. So no
Oh,
limbs,
come on.
no limbs, but sexting.
also
with
no
a
soul.
Minor. Yeah, and also not just sexting, actually doing it. In 2018, Mariah became the first Kentuckian to receive a robotic arm, and she was widely celebrated throughout the state. You know, this teacher with a robotic arm, it's a feel-good story. Everybody's happy. But then,
Yeah.
Yeah.
She used that to grab a 10-year-old's penis.
unfortunately,
the
in
phone.
2019, police started an investigation into a sexual relationship she was having with a student, a minor. Turned out to be totally true, and now she's fired with the details of everything in court. And like you said, Mark, hate to beg the question, but did the robotic arm make it easier for her to slip down this slippery slope in this eventual outcome?
Yes.
Whole new world.
Yeah. The robotic arm was the last step she needed to complete her plan of assaulting a student.
She's like, those idiots.
Yeah. Just give me the arm.
I mean, it's fucked up. It's so fucked up. You know, like that's like such a feel-good story. She gets this like amazing, life-changing prosthetic 1 fucking year later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's tough. That's tough.
It's tough to, yeah.
It's a tough story.
It's fucked up. All right, we got another one. Another fools that work at schools from Rafa Fagafa at Rafa Fagafa. And this one comes from Riverton, Utah, just south of Salt Lake City, where Lucas Sloan Talley, 38 years old, has been a teacher at South Hills Middle School for the past 12 years. Well, he was a teacher there until he resigned. And then, guys, what do you think? 38-year-old Lucas Sloan Talley resigned because
had sex with the student.
Yeah, if you said he tries to fuck 14-year-old girls, ding ding, you are correct. Of course, that's why he resigned. Apparently, this guy was on the radar of many parents. Like each and every one of those cases, Lucas liked to chat with the girls via social media and was told by several parents to stop trying to fuck their daughters.
That's a bad sign if your teacher's DMing your daughter.
Oh yeah,
it's a red flag when at PTA night he referred to his middle school students as his girlfriends to the parents.
Right. Yeah.
It's my harem. It's just they love me.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, he apparently he'd be on social media, blah blah blah. But he took it a step further on the creep level. Bubba, you want to roll the video on this guy, please?
Oh,
Police reports say Talley put the middle schooler into a large black and yellow storage bin, put it on a dolly, then wheeled the student into his classroom. The documents say that Talley admitted to naming the bin after the young girl and placed a label inside that said, "Hope your box is comfortable."
Somebody who was a teacher in a position of trust knew that it was inappropriate and continued it and wanted to continue it to a point where it became illegal.
Detectives say Talley touched the student inappropriately, and they found multiple emails, texts, and videos where he told the girl he loved and missed her.
The teacher in question was actually using messaging and social media to communicate with students and specifically with this student.
Detectives say that back in June, the victim's mother told Talley to stop communicating with her daughter, which he did not. Detectives say Talley then told them that there are other parents who told him to stop talking to their daughters. Investigators say they've located multiple young girls that Talley has talked to about his anxiety, depression, and failing marriage.
What? Get that guy out of all schools ever. That's ridiculous.
That
Guess
guy
what?
had a portable. Yeah, he showed her when she said stop communicating with my daughter. He got a portable trunk in the car scenario that wheeled into his little room of torture.
Yeah,
that's not
What
good.
does he do? He's like sexually assaulting people in his car and then wheeling them back in.
No. He had a bin
he
had a bin like a wheelbarrow, but with like a top to it, like a Tupperware, and he would put them in that so that the people wouldn't see him like walking this bin into his classroom, which had a student he was going to assault. So like he would get him into his room.
He was texting them all.
Like the room was like empty once you got him in.
Yeah, his classroom because there's no one there. Yeah,
he would like
texting all these girls.
He was kidnapping girls and putting them in his bin and wheeling them into his room so that people didn't. At 3:30 in the afternoon after school hours, people weren't like, "Why are you bringing Sarah in your room?" He was like, "I'm bringing my bin in."
Yeah, this particular one, but he was apparently like texting all of them. I mean, like his problems. Like, yeah, guess what? Mr. Talley texted me last night. Said he and his wife got in a big fight and he's thinking about killing her and asked me if I wanted to go on the run with him. It's like, that's
Dude, Talley, get that guy. Well, fuck that guy. Get him.
That is tough.
Yeah. So, he's he apparently admitted, as most all of these do, that this was inappropriate and that he felt like he just needed some validation from 14-year-olds and he thrives on it. He was waiting, of course. He was in love with her, Will, and he was waiting
of course, right.
until she turned to legal age so he could marry her.
I'm so glad I'm having a daughter. I can't wait to run into a Mr. Talley.
Yeah, you might want to ask her if she's been putting any bins today.
Right.
Whoa, buddy.
Yeah.
Can't even imagine.
So they deemed him a flight risk and a risk to himself, and he's booked on 2 counts of kidnapping. And he's
Straight
he's
to Gitmo for Tally. Just send
Yeah.
him.
Wait,
send
a
him
risk to
Guantanamo.
himself, so he's like in a padded room.
He's like in a padded room. He's a risk to himself and the girl that he put in the box.
So he's a risk to everybody.
He's a risk to everybody.
He's a
Risk
risk.
to his family, obviously. His wife's can't be too happy about all that.
No.
That can't be great.
Mr.
Great
Talley said he was
revelation.
going to set himself on fire.
Pretty
Yeah.
sure the wife knew something was off.
Yeah. So
Yeah, when he's feverishly texting 14-year-olds in the middle
Yeah.
of the night, and she caught him like 85 times. Yeah.
she knew something was up.
Pretty sure.
All right, that's going to do it for Hard Factor. Thank you guys for listening. Just rewind and listen to Mark's spiel at the very beginning. That's kind of what we need to hammer down for the remainder of our time here with you.
Downloads.
Downloads. I'm very excited to show off the merch that we're going to have for you guys. So, yeah, catch us on radio. We'll be on 10 a.m. for up until the new year. So please join us there. But most importantly, have a great fucking day.